new cases a day, and you have
152,840 people have tested positive, and that's an increase of 4,463 cases since yesterday. 15,953 people are currently in hospital with the coronavirus in the UK, down from 16,411 on the 25th of April. And sadly, of those hospitalised with the virus, 20,732 have now died, and that is an increase of 413 fatalities since yesterday. And we express our deepest condolences to the families and friends of these victims.
In the UK, you can see that proportion is declining, as indeed is the absolute number. So again,
the international food supply chain continues to work well, although there are isolated cases of trade being disrupted, particularly, for instance, some goods coming from India. But most of our trade with near neighbours in Europe is continuing to flow normally. We're also acutely aware that we're about to start the British season in fresh produce, in soft fruits and salads. We estimate that probably only about a third of the migrant labour that would normally come to the UK is here and was probably here before lockdown. And we are working with industry to identify an approach that will encourage those millions of furloughed workers, in some cases, to consider taking a second job, helping get the harvest in June. It's not an issue at the moment, since the harvest has barely begun, but we do anticipate that there will be a need to help recruit staff for those sectors in the month of June. As we look forward more generally towards the next stage in our battle against this virus,
you can see that the benefit of social distancing is beginning to be reflected in the number of new cases determined by testing. We are not seeing increases in that. We are seeing a fairly stable number, and that, of course, is also on the backdrop of an increased number of tests becoming available. That, in turn, of course, then plays through into the number of hospital admissions. Again, for the vast majority of people, this is a mild illness, but unfortunately for some, it requires a hospital stay, a hospital admission. And you can see that we now have a very definite trend in a reduced number of people in hospitals. That is most marked in London, but I think you can also see that in the Midlands and the beginnings of that in other areas of the UK. On top